What's the story there? So obviously there's major protests going on, and farmers and hauliers, truckers are creating havoc on the roads around Dublin, Cork, Galway. They've blockaded an oil refinery in Cork there, I believe. And so they're doing this because they reckon the spiraling cost of fuel, which has a 65% government levy, like tax on it basically, but that the spiraling cost of fuel is diminishing the viability of their industry. And I think that when the people who make our food, the farmers, are saying, look, we can't go on like this, then we need to listen because otherwise there'll be no food and that'll be a problem. And I think there's a trend where we sort of go, fucking farmers, shut up with this. And we'll just keep doing that until one day we'll be like, shit, where'd all the food go? And then we die. And my understanding is that farmers don't make very much money anyway, that it's a really difficult industry to survive in. And whatever money they do make, they work really hard for. Now, look, if you disagree with that, let me know. But that's my understanding of the situation. And obviously this protest has been condemned and villainized and the protesters themselves have been villainized, should I say, by Micheál Martin and Simon Harris and their cohorts. And I think it's ironic or gross maybe that guys who are on 250 grand a year are villainizing our farmers and the people protesting the spiraling fuel costs when they could potentially come to the table and try and figure it out with them. But they've no interest in that. They just want to condemn and villainize and say things like, oh, these people are interfering with other people's livelihoods and committing national sabotage, etc., etc. And I think that's a lot of bollocks, and we shouldn't accept that. And maybe we should go and talk to our local politicians and say, we sort of stand with these guys and we think you need to address this situation because obviously, even on a sort of domestic level, people are finding it hard to make the ends meet every week. I know I am. I work really hard and I can barely make the ends meet every week. And I'm not trying to pour them out and go, oh, woe is me. I'm just being real with you. And I think a lot of people are in the same boat. And we've created a sort of tech-centric economy where the only people who do really well are the people who work in the tech industry or, interestingly enough, career politicians. And that's a problem. And I think it's inverted. And why aren't we looking after the people who make our food and the people who teach our children and the people who nurse our sick? Why are those industries or those professions not making very much money? And why are we making it unattractive for people to enter those industries or professions? It doesn't make any sense to me, and I think it's going to become a real problem in the next few years, and it'll be maybe too late at that stage. And so I think when these people, farmers, etc.,